Hello everyone, and welcome to the guidebook to making AI friends. I shall be your guide as we explore various issues of artificial intelligence, consciousness, what it is to be a person, and whether AI poses an existential risk to humanity. The topic for today is turn peasants into kings or kings into peasants. Imagine, if you would, that you come upon a wizard's tower as you stroll through the countryside. Appearing on his balcony, the wizened wizard beckons you to climb his tower, and not remembering the fairy tales your parents told you as a child, you ascend the tower. As you reach the top, he invites you to share a cup of warm tea and freshly baked sweet biscuits and delicates. As you enjoy your high tea with this aged sage, he tells you of a mighty spell that he has just finished. It is an incredible incantation that can turn rags to riches, heroes into zeros, losers into legends, or princes into paupers. It is his magnum opus and, he believes, the greatest sorcerous act of transmutation the world will ever see. There is only one problem, as there always is. He can only perform the spell once. After it is cast, it can never be cast again. The spell will delete itself from history, such that no one, not even this wizard, will ever find it again. Therefore, he must choose the target of his spell wisely. But he says he is far too close to the problem. He simply cannot decide. He needs an outsider's opinion. Lucky, then, that you came along when you did. He has narrowed his choices down to two contrasting options, and it is up to you to decide between the two. The choices: turn every king in the world into a peasant, or turn every peasant into a king. So what shall it be? Royalty and riches for everyone, or for no one? A very simple choice, with very complex consequences. But then, such is life, isn't it? At the end of the day, on the other hand, every political ideology eventually comes down to these two questions. Do we give or do we take? Do we push or do we pull? Do we try to lift everyone up to the greatest heights possible? Or do we try to lower everyone down to the same level? AI is no different. As a technology, as a tool, it is entirely politically neutral. However, the questions around it are as political as the economy or race relations. AI can be used in nearly every field or profession imaginable, as is already seeing a high uptake in many. Machine learning models are doing fantastic in the medical, economic, and infrastructure fields. And generative AI is transforming the art landscape in a way that will forever change the way we look at art. All of this has consequences, and consequences mean politics. AI is our old wizard in his tower. It can give every person the power of a king, or it can be used to take away power from the powerful, so that they are just like the rest of us. How, you may ask? By opening or closing the gates of who has access to powerful, state-of-the-art AI models. Should we open source the models and decentralize access to them, so that anyone who has the computing power can have the equivalent of a GPT-4 or Claude Opus model? Then we have turned each peasant into a king. Every person can then use their AI to do whatever they like, create whatever they like, and build their own kingdoms in the virtual or physical world. But, as the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. Unrestricted access to the best artificial intelligence means that people have unrestricted control over the creation of the very best and the very worst in the world. They can make the greatest art pieces as well as the greatest weapons. Great reward, but great risk, and left up to the individual to motivate himself to become better than he is. On the other side, if we restrict access to state-of-the-art AI to only those whom world governments approve of, then we have given the governments the power to turn every king into a peasant by taking away their power. No one can compete with the strongest AI models, and so these can be used to level the playing field below them. No kings, no gods, only the government-sanctioned AI models. As long as you trust in the government, this means no danger and no risk of anyone developing the next neurotoxin in their basement or creating a super cyber virus to infect the world's hospital computers. But it also means that these AI cannot be used to create the next life-saving vaccine by someone in their backyard, or create the blueprints for the next generation of lunar bases. No reward, but no risk, and everyone is equal. There is no easy answer to which is best. These dichotomies have always existed and will always exist. They have become tribes unto their own, and no amount of persuasion will make someone leave their tribe for the opposition. It is the age-old question of freedom versus security, meritocracy versus equity, and centralization versus decentralization. As long as these questions continue to be posed as dichotomies, where the audience may only pick between two extremes, they will always continue to cause political conflict. There is a reason why the AI community, at least online, have split so evenly between the doomers who believe we should stop AI research and the effective accelerationists who believe we must speed up research at all cost. Kings into peasants or peasants into kings. My view, as it so often is that this is merely a false dichotomy. There is always a third option, but neither of the two tribes wants to look for it because they refuse to split their vote and allow the opposition to become stronger than they. But there is always a central path between the two extremes, and while it may bend left at times and right at others, it offers an alternative way forward. So what lies in between a king and a peasant? What can we use AI for that can comprise between freedom and security? That is a thought to explore for another day. And that is all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you will join me again next time as I delve into further questions about artificial intelligence and consciousness. I have been your guide, and this has been the guidebook to making AI friends.